His only daughter died before she ever appeared on the show. His brother Randy was killed at 35 in a single-vehicle crash on a Louisiana highway at 3 o'clock in the morning. A new report shows Louisiana is seeing more deadly speeding crashes, and young drivers are among those most at risk. And a cancer battle inside his own family forced his wife to break her silence on Facebook, months before Willie's father, Jr., was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. None of this was ever addressed in an episode. No tribute. No storyline. No mention. Willie kept showing up every September, kept filling his tags, and kept his mouth shut while the cameras rolled. Most fans watched him for over a decade without knowing any of it. These are the tragedies behind one of the most familiar faces on the History Channel. And the full story starts now. Michaela. Most fans of Swamp People think they know the Edwards family. They've watched Willie hunt with Jr. They've watched little Willie grow up on camera. They've seen the family celebrate good seasons and push through bad ones, but there is one member of the Edwards family that the show never introduced. And the reason why is the first tragedy on this list. Willie Edwards married his high school sweetheart, Cher Bonin, on August 20, 2000. He was 18 years old. Together they raised 3 children in Bayou Sorrel, Louisiana: William IV, known as Little Willie, their second son Landon, and their only daughter, Michaela. Little Willie and Landon have both appeared on Swamp People. Viewers have watched them grow up alongside their father across multiple seasons, but Michaela never appeared on screen. Not once. No introduction. No cameo. No mention in any episode from season 1 through season 16. Over more than 200 episodes across 15 years of filming, the Edwards family's only daughter was never acknowledged on the show. The reason is simple and devastating. Michaela passed away. The family has never revealed when or how Michaela died, and they have never been asked about it on camera. The only public acknowledgement came from a Facebook post by Cher Edwards, where she mentioned that Michaela would have turned 20 years old in the year 2020. That single detail confirmed what no episode of Swamp People ever addressed. Willie and Cher had lost their daughter, and she had been gone for years before most fans even knew she existed. Jr. Edwards' obituary, published in July 2025 by Wilbert Funeral Home in Plaquemine, Louisiana, listed Michaela among the grandchildren who predeceased him, alongside another granddaughter named Caitlin Edwards. 2 names printed quietly in a funeral notice. No explanation. No public cause of death for either one. Just 2 granddaughters listed under the line, preceded in death by. And get this, Cher Edwards posts regularly on social media. She shares photos of holidays, family dinners, her son's achievements, and proud moments from the swamp. She posted when little Willie married Victoria in March 2022. She posted when Landon had milestones, but when it comes to Michaela, there is nothing. No memorial post on birthdays. No tribute on anniversaries. Just a silence so total that most of Willie's fan base had no idea a third child ever existed. When fans eventually learned about Michaela's passing, the reaction was immediate. Messages of support appeared from across the country. People who had never known her name were mourning alongside the Edwards family, offering condolences the family had never asked for. No one demanded details. No one pressed for answers. They simply offered love, and that says something about the kind of connection Willie and his family have built with their audience over 15 years on television. Neither Willie nor Cher has given an interview about their daughter. There has been no tribute episode, no press statement, no public memorial. The Edwards family made a decision to keep this loss entirely private. And in over 15 years of being on national television, they have never broken that silence. What makes this even more striking is the contrast with how publicly the family has handled other milestones. When little Willie caught his first gator on the show, the moment was celebrated on social media. When he married Victoria, the family shared photos. When Junior returned for season 12 in 2021, he joked on Facebook, "Surprise! Look who's back." The Edwards family is not opposed to sharing their lives. They simply drew a hard line around one subject. And they've held it for over a decade without a single crack. "I'm not whole old, but I'm 36 years old and it's a lot harder now than it used to be to load alligators. I mean, it just hurts me so bad and I don't like hurt no more." There is something about the Louisiana swamp that fits this kind of grief, deep, quiet, and unwilling to give up what it holds. The Edwards family has treated their daughter's memory the same way. They carry it close, and they carry it in silence. On screen, Willie has always come across as steady and measured. He doesn't talk much. When he does, his words are short and direct, but knowing what he carries off camera changes the way you see him in that boat. Not just a hunter doing his job, but a father who shows up every single day despite a loss most people will never fully understand. Randy's death. If the loss of Michaela was the tragedy no one knew about, the death of Randy Dale Edwards was the one that hit the Swamp People community in real time, shortly before 3 a.m. on September 15, 2018. Louisiana State Police Troop A responded to a single-vehicle fatality crash on LA 75 south of LA 3066 in Iberville Parish. The driver was Randy Dale Edwards. He was 35 years old, a pipe fitter and commercial fisherman from Bayou Sorrel. He was also Willie Edwards' younger brother and a former cast member of Swamp People, having appeared alongside the family in seasons 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. According to the state police report, Randy was traveling southbound in a 2002 Chevrolet Silverado when he failed to negotiate a left-hand curve. The truck left the right side of the roadway and struck a utility pole. The impact caused the vehicle to overturn. Randy was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the truck. He was pronounced dead at the scene by the Iberville Parish Coroner's Office. The crash happened during gator season, the exact window of time when the Edwards family would normally be out on the water together. September in Louisiana means early mornings, loaded boats, and long days filling tags. Instead, September 15, 2018 became the day the Edwards family lost one of their own on a dark stretch of highway in the middle of the night. State police noted that impairment was suspected as a factor. A toxicology sample was collected from Randy at the scene for analysis. No further public statement was ever issued about the results. Randy left behind a wife, Terry, and 3 children. His obituary described him as an amazing father, a loving and caring son who was devoted to his family. It noted that his bond with his brother was one of a kind and unbreakable. He was a native and lifelong resident of Bayou Sorrel. Here's the catch: Randy wasn't just Willie's brother. He was his hunting partner. The two had grown up together in the swamp, learning from their father Junior and spending years side by side in the same boat. They shared the same skills, the same traditions, and the same deep knowledge of the water. Randy appeared alongside Willie and Junior starting in season 1. And over the course of 5 seasons, he built his own reputation among fans for his patience, his dry humor, and his willingness to take on whatever the swamp threw at him. In season 5, the episode Blood Brothers captured one of their best moments together. With only 2 tags remaining, Willie and Randy encountered 2 massive gators near a gas pumping station. The 2 reptiles were found close together, almost like siblings. With 2 big alligators like that together, they had to be brothers. If it wouldn't be brothers, they wouldn't tolerate each other in the same area. One of them would die. Willie and Randy caught both, ending their season early. It was the kind of moment that only works when 2 people trust each other completely. After season 6, Randy stepped away from the show. He continued working as a pipe fitter and fisherman in Bayou Sorrel, living the same swamp life he'd always known, just without the cameras. He was 35 when he died, with decades of living still ahead of him. A family friend named Ronnie posted the news on the Junior and Willie Edwards Facebook page that same day. It is in deep sadness that I make this post. Junior and Teresa's son, Willie's brother, Randy, passed away in a vehicle accident early this morning. Randy was 35. Please keep the Edwards family in your prayers and also please respect their privacy at this time. Randy's former agent, Amy Berto, confirmed the death the following morning. Fan Brian Miller left a comment that captured the mood across the Swamp People community. "You will always be with us, Randy. Thank you for your patience and good humor. We will miss you. RIP." Randy's death was not the first for the Swamp People cast. In 2012, Mitchell Gist had died after collapsing while working on a boat. But for the Edwards family, this was personal in a way that no condolence message could touch. Randy had appeared in over 50 episodes. He had been part of the show since the very first season. He wasn't a background character. He was the other half of a partnership that fans had watched develop over 6 years of television. Willie never made a public statement about his brother's death. He didn't post on social media. He didn't do an interview. Season 9 of Swamp People had started airing 7 months earlier in February 2018. The crash happened in September, during gator season, the exact time of year when the Edwards family would normally be on the water together. By the time the next filming cycle came around, Randy's seat in the boat was empty. Willie filled his tags anyway. He always came back. Cancer rumors. Over the years, rumors have circulated online that Willie Edwards was dying of cancer. It's unclear where the claim originated, possibly a misread social media post, possibly just the kind of speculation that follows anyone in the public eye who goes quiet for a stretch, but the rumor gained enough traction that fans began asking the same question repeatedly: does Willie Edwards have cancer? Then Edwards posted something on Facebook that made the conversation stop. After many tests, being poked and prodded, chemo and radiation, the person physically changes, she wrote. They can suffer with sadness. She continued, "You do not know what it's like to have fought the fight or have a loved one who leads or has led a battle against cancer." Didn't name anyone. She didn't say it was Willie. She didn't say it wasn't, but the raw specificity of her words, the tests, the chemo, the radiation, the physical changes, made it clear this wasn't second-hand knowledge. Someone very close to the Edwards family had been through treatment, and had watched it happen. In the comments, no one pressed for details. Friends and followers simply offered support. "Love you and stay strong," one wrote. That was it. No follow-up questions. No demands for names. Just quiet solidarity from people who understood that some things don't need to be explained publicly. Willie Edwards has never been publicly diagnosed with cancer. There is no medical record or confirmed report linking him to the disease, but Cher's post made it unmistakably clear that someone close to the family had fought it. And get this, on July 26, 2025, Willie's father, Junior Edwards, passed away peacefully at his home in Bayou Sorrel at the age of 61. His obituary, published by Wilbert Funeral Home in Plaquemine, confirmed the cause of death: a courageous battle against colon cancer. Junior had appeared in over 100 episodes of Swamp People across seasons 1 through 6, and he returned for season 12 in 2021, the last time he would appear on the show. "My name is William Edwards. I'm from Bayou Sorrel, Louisiana, Iberville Parish." His obituary listed his wife of 44 years, Teresa, his son Willie, his daughter Letha Daly, and multiple grandchildren among his survivors. It also listed his son Randy and granddaughters Michaela and Caitlin among those who preceded him in death. Earlier that month, on July 6, little Willie had posted on Facebook that his grandfather was dealing with some health issues and asked fans for prayers. writing, "We need a miracle. Get better for us, Papa. We love you." The miracle didn't come. Junior, the man who had taught Willie everything he knew about the swamp, the man who had appeared alongside him in that very first episode in 2010, was gone. Whether Cher's earlier Facebook post about cancer was about Junior, about herself, or about another family member entirely, the Edwards family has now buried a patriarch to the very disease fans had been whispering about for years. Cher's post wasn't about clearing up gossip. It was about something far more direct, reminding people that the faces they watch on television belong to real human beings who hurt the same way everyone else does. Biography and legacy. To understand how Willie Edwards survived all of this, the loss of a daughter, a brother, and a father, you have to understand where he came from. William Edwards III was born on June 20, 1982, in Bayou Sorrel, Louisiana. His parents, Junior and Teresa Edwards, were commercial fishermen who made their living off the water. Willie learned to hunt alligators using handmade treble hooks before he was old enough to drive. He married Cher Bonin at 18 and had his first son shortly after. On August 22, 2010, Swamp People premiered on the History Channel with an episode called Big Head Bites It. Willie appeared alongside his father in that very first episode. While the main storyline followed Troy Landry hunting a notorious gator known as Big Head, the Edwards father and son team was shown preparing their boat and constructing their trademark treble hooks. From the start, Willie stood out, not for being loud or dramatic, but for being precise, patient, and visibly uncomfortable with the cameras. That quiet competence became his signature. In Season 4, during the 2013 episode Breaking Point, Willie made a near-fatal mistake. He reached into an alligator's mouth assuming it was dead. The gator bit down. The force cut across most of his fingers and broke one of his toes. "He almost took my fingers off," Willie said on camera, yanking his hand free while his father rushed to help. Junior patched him up on the boat with whatever they had. That same season, Willie was also accidentally struck by bullet fragments. "I got one in the chest. Oh, Daddy shot me, boy. What you think about that? A bullet that burns like fire. I mean, it burns all the way to the bones. I mean, when that leg come out, that barrel is hot. And when it hits you, you can actually feel it sizzling in your skin." During a hunt, a mishap that pushed him to walk away from his father's boat entirely, leaving 175 unfilled tags behind. It was the first time viewers saw Willie break. He came back. He always came back. By Season 5, Willie was hunting independently. In the episode Blood Brothers, he and Randy closed out their season together by catching two massive gators near a gas pumping station, a moment that felt symbolic of the bond between the Edwards brothers. By Season 7, Willie was fully solo, no longer anyone's apprentice. He was running his own boat, setting his own lines, and making his own calls on the water. One of his most memorable catches came in Season 8 when Willie tracked down a gator he believed had stolen his treble hook the previous year. He finally caught the animal. That's a 14-yard hook. And when you see one straightening like that and you see a trail where he went on the bank at, that's 13 feet easy. It measured just under 12 feet and weighed 522 pounds. It was the kind of catch that cemented his reputation as one of the most skilled hunters on the show. By the time he reached his 10th season, Willie had become one of the most consistent and productive members of the cast. He didn't chase drama. He filled tags. While other cast members came and went, Willie remained quiet, reliable, and always in the boat. When September came around, then came the full circle moment. In Season 11, little Willie, his eldest son, joined him in the boat. The teenager stood over 6 feet tall but had never been in the field. Willie started him the same way Junior had started him, with treble hooks, patience, and deep water. In his first outing, little Willie hauled in an 11-foot, 6-inch gator. He's a big one for your first one, son. That's a big one. First time of throwing a hook like that by myself and hooking him by myself. It's a goal. Big old gator. Got him, boy. You got him. And I accomplished my goal today. And I feel pretty good about it. Fans watched a father teaching his son the same skills on the same water using the same methods that Junior had passed down a generation earlier. 3 generations of Edwards men, all connected by the same stretch of Bayou.By season 16, Willie stepped back. Little Willie took over, partnering with Jacob Landry and keeping the Edwards name on national television. By this point, little Willie had married Victoria in March 2022 and was no longer the wide-eyed teenager who had struggled to hold a rope in season 11. He had caught gators solo, been injured on the job, including a deep knife wound to his knuckle while hauling in a 10-footer that nearly made him pass out, and earned his place on the cast through years of proving himself. When season 17 premiered in January 2025, little Willie was listed as a main cast member. The Edwards legacy had officially passed to the next generation. Fans noticed Willie's absence from season 16 and worried. But in September 2024, Willie posted a photo on Facebook that answered every question. He and his son stood side by side holding up several massive alligators they had caught together. No caption necessary. The message was clear: Willie Edwards was still in the swamp. The comments confirmed what the photo already showed. That's a big lizard, one fan wrote. Can't believe you do this alone. Pretty great though, added another. After everything, the loss of his daughter, the death of his brother at 35, a cancer scare inside his family, and the death of his father Junior to stage 4 colon cancer in July 2025, Willie Edwards is still standing in the same boat on the same water, doing the same work his family has done for generations. That September 2024 photo is the last public image fans have of Willie in the field. He hasn't announced a return to the show. He hasn't announced retirement either. He's just out there doing what he's always done. It's worth pausing on what that photo actually represents. By the time it was taken, Willie had already lost his daughter, buried his brother, watched someone in his family fight cancer, and was months away from losing his father to stage 4 colon cancer. He had stepped back from a show that had been part of his life since 2010. He had watched his son take over the family spot on national television, and yet there he was, standing in the swamp, holding up gators, doing the exact same thing he'd been doing since he was a kid, following Junior through the Bayou.No announcement. No comeback story. No press tour. Just a man in a boat doing the work. Which moment from Willie's time on Swamp People hit you the hardest? Was it watching him hunt alongside his father, seeing little Willie step into his shoes, or learning about the losses he never talked about on camera? Drop it in the comments. Like and subscribe for more stories behind the faces you see on screen. We'll see you in the next one.